Hey guys, you're watching TechEdit. My name's Basil and this is the Honor Magic V2. Honor's latest take on a foldable announced here at IFA 2023 in Berlin. For the world, it will be launching globally, including the UK, with pricing and release dates to follow. But this is super exciting because this is one of the first foldables launched in China that really made a lot of media go wow, that is actually coming to the West. So you'll be able to pick it up in stores. What's so incredible about this phone specifically is it could be, in fact it probably is, a lot of media and I've spoken to's favorite foldable when it comes to design, because it's thin, it's light, it emulates a traditional phone really nicely when closed. It weighs less than an iPhone 14 Pro Max, for example. Simultaneously, it opens up obviously into a really nice big, almost 8-inch foldable, 7.92-inch inner screen. The outer screen though is what impresses me more, because unlike the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5, for example, you don't have a cramped display. You have a very comfortable, very wide display because there's very little bezel taking place. So you can use this closed, open, really nicely. What's also incredible about this phone is the fact it has a 5,000 milliamp battery inside. The reason that's a big deal is because of how thin and light it is. Most foldables come with slightly smaller batteries that can't squeeze it in, but Honor has actually created this new battery tech, or they managed to make a super condensed battery, and when you pick it up, we've actually got one of the batteries. It weighs more than you think it's going to weigh. It's like physics-defying. It's just a super dense material, and 5,000 milliamps means you're more than likely going to get more than a day's life out of this thing, which is super impressive. Also very happy about the fact that it opens out flat. If you've used the Honor Magic VS, I tested that out for Digital Camera World, and when you open it out flat, it doesn't open out flat. It's very similar to the Pixel Fold. It has a slight bend in the middle, and especially when you're doing something like gaming with two hands, that becomes really noticeable after a long time. Well, this phone opens out super flat, super thin, super skinny, and it just feels very natural, a lot like a tablet when you're using it open. The reason having a slight fold when opened out really takes you out of that tablet illusion is because you can feel the bend. It feels like a foldable phone, whereas if you want a true two-in-one experience, you have a phone that folds completely flat, like the Z Fold 5, for example. Even though there's a crease in it, I would rather it had a crease and a real like flat fold than a slight bend and less crease. Pixel Fold kind of has both, but that's by the by. So yeah, the Magic V2 also has improved cameras, which I'm really here for. The original Honor VS really disappointed with its lack of optical image stabilization. Now you have a 50 megapixel primary camera with a nice wide lens and optical image stabilization on that, and on the telephoto camera, and simultaneously there's the ultra wide camera which clocks in at 50 megapixels. So you have a 20 megapixel telephoto, 2.5 times zoom, 50 megapixel main, 50 megapixel ultra wide. I also really like how the images look. I tried it out against the Xiaomi Mix Fold 3, which has a periscope camera, and detail didn't fare too much worse. So you've got a lot of extra thickness with that periscope camera. The Xiaomi has a really hefty camera bump, even though it's a relatively thin foldable in general, whereas the Magic V2's camera bump is more subdued. With a Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 inside as well, you've got stacks of power, and 16 gigabytes of RAM is plenty. Available in 256, 512 or 1 terabyte storage. Yes, you don't have an SD card like with Sony phones, but you probably won't need one in your lifetime of use if you opt for one of the larger capacity options. Honor's main issue thus far has been software. The foldables I've used from China, Xiaomi, Honor, they haven't had software optimized to take advantage of that big foldable screen inside. Hopefully this will get it right. I haven't seen final software running on this. I haven't seen a taskbar, for example, that lets you quickly switch between apps and fire up split screen and floating window multitasking. So that's all to look out for when this finally drops in the West. But on first impression, the Magic V2 is without a doubt my favorite looking foldable from the point of view of someone who wants a foldable but wants something the same size as a traditional phone. phone. Is it going to be right for me? I don't know if I want to sacrifice something like wireless charging or a periscope camera, some real telephoto reach. But if I was happy to do that and I wanted the thinnest, the lightest, and just a really, really well constructed foldable, the V2 would absolutely get my vote. What do you think? Are you sold on foldables? This channel has predominantly Sony fans who watch it from my experience, and there aren't any Sony foldables, so there's nothing really in that camp to compare it to. But do you prefer the Magic V2 to the likes of the Pixel Fold, the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5, Xiaomi Mix Fold 3, and the exciting Oppo and OnePlus foldable that's been rumored that's set to launch apparently in the coming few months? Let me know what you think in the comments section below. If you like this video, click that thumbs up, like the channel, subscribe. It's how you stay on top of everything that I do. Cheers, bye.